That's why I keep you here.
Yay, Alden's here.
Howdy, Alden. You are the first viewer on the first live stream. We're live now, but because of technical incompetence, we've been on for, 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
But it was unlisted because we were testing yesterday, and it's, we left it unlisted. And I'm the technical guy, so it's my fault. But I'll blame her, because it's easier that way on me.
Now you guys get to see the face to the voice. Yeah, I'm very nervous, guys. Very.
Yeah, she's a very shy person, so sitting here I was surprised she actually did the videos, because actually doing a video that's going to go out for people to see, but I figured would just be too much for her nervous self, but she actually did it because there's nobody there except for, when she does the What Sold, it's just her, and with the other ones, it's me. So she just gets to run her mouth to me, and it's like nobody's there, but I guess now it's a different.
Hi, Hannah. Hi, Kathy. Barefoot Bonsai. And Chuck.
We were supposed to ask what you guys wanted us to, if you had questions that you wanted answered or anything like that, and we failed on that.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing here at all. And it's so much easier to do videos, and you can chop out all the problems.
Yes, lots of problems.
All the misspoken words. Hi, Lizzie. I wish we could see you guys, too.
That would make this easier.
Yep. Hello, my sister, Rachel.
My favorite sister-in-law.
Where's the other one?
The least favorite. Because she probably won't show up since she is the least favorite.
Oh, let's talk about the board.
Oh, yes. That was on the list of things to talk about.
Yes. We got this idea from Daily Refinement, and we changed it a little. I'm going to get up. We went to Joann's Fabrics and bought, I want to say nautical cloth, but I could be forgetting it. But things stick to it. It's like felt, but like industrial. And then we have, Robert just put a board behind it. And we love it because he's going to grab a pair of pants. You don't need hangers or anything. You just put your stuff up there. Take your pictures, do your tags, flip it over. And pretty much anything that's not like silky will stick to it, or heavy.
Like
that's why we have this little hook up there.
Yeah,
so
any of the like Under Armour kind of shirts that are kind of slick, they just slide right off and they're annoying. So we have to have the hanger for that.
Yeah.
And at first it's a piece of plywood is what it is, and it used to extend to the floor, but that meant that when we were doing it we had to lean really far forward, and I designed in my mind a table to go under it, and then we found a cheap one at a yard sale for $10.
And you just cut the legs off, and that way your feet fit under there. And then me being smart too, we put you guys can't see it, but there's pool noodle around the edge of it, so when you kind of lean in, you don't whack your knees or your shins on the table. But yeah, we really like taking the pictures with that. Hi, Tina. Miss Honeybee ready.
There's lots of names on there we've seen in the comments.
I know, lots of people from all the comments we get.
I think next time we need to drag somebody in with us.
I think so. He keeps trying to get me to interview somebody, and that's going to take a whole other rebel to get used to that idea. This has been anxiety ridden for me today.
It's been a terrible day for her. But I tell her she needs to interview somebody that does like records or CDs, or somebody that does something outside of toys, so that we could present different information to y'all and give you something else to listen to besides Plush, and we bought a bunch of jeans, but we're not going to show them.
Hi, Kathy. Yeah, boring jeans, but Plush I could talk about all day, as you guys probably can tell.
And the clothes get put aside because they're last on the list. So like I said earlier, if anybody has questions, I think Alden asked about the clothing board. It's on our list to make a better video of it so we could show the base and how that goes together. And because it's just, I don't know, we were lucky to find the little table at a yard sale that worked perfect for it. It was kind of what I had in mind, but a little different, but it worked. A lady said she and her daughter had done it when they were quarantined for COVID, that they had watched some making things out of pallet videos and made kind of fake living room furniture, and this was the coffee table, and it kind of fit perfect for what we needed.
Yeah, and that's definitely a back saver there. I couldn't even imagine trying to do either mannequins or flat lays on the floor. I am too old for that.
I've always got my eyes open for tools or something that makes her roll her eyes when I show up at the checkout, when we go to pay the people, and they get the look of, what in the world is that? And some of those things are still sitting around because they need to be cleaned or tested, and that gets kind of put off.
Yeah, the testing stuff gets delayed for us.
Hello, Amy.
Oh, Lizzie. Yeah. I started selling on eBay 22 years ago, but when I really started reselling was I started finding vintage Little People stuff, and I wanted to make complete sets. So I would buy what I could find, and then I'd sell what I didn't need on eBay to pay for the things that I wanted to complete my sets. I sold all those sets already, but when I started doing this video, I think the first thing I had was the clock. And I had these, either I did or my siblings did, a lot of these when we were growing up. So I just started, whatever I find, I want to go ahead and keep just for a little while. But, you know, I've got some vintage Fisher Price up there, Little People, and I found the Lolly doll the other day. So she's up there. It's just things that I love. I love Fisher Price. That will always be, for non-plush, that's my favorite toy to collect. Aw, thanks, honeybee. You know what? I never in a million years would have thought that people would be interested in somebody who sells stuffed animals. I really didn't. And that's why I kind of fought doing this for so long, because it's like, you know, there's not comps on a lot of it because I find stuff that's so unique and so old. And it just has been amazing to see all the support that we've got from these videos. And I love, like today, I don't remember who posted it, but she was like, I picked up 4 plush today and thought to myself, would Rebel have bought these? And I thought, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Hopefully she's said it with my voice in her mind. What's the oldest piece of listing? Believe it or not, I moved to this house, 11 years ago? 12 years ago?
20. You bought it in December of 2011.
And I brought about 1,000 items with me at that point. And every once in a while something sells, and I think that came with me from the old house.
And it was this week you said that.
I did. Just this week I was like, I'm pretty sure that came with me from the other house. Oh, that glass. I found a glass. I sold a piece of glass that somebody had hand painted a duck on. And Robert had to pack it for me, but yeah.
And part of my not working on things to sell or anything, but just cleaning up some space down here was, we have a giant pile of boxes that have either been given to us or that we've ordered things from Amazon or things like that. and they're sitting over in their corner, and it just kind of grows, and then every now and then we have to clean it up. Well, I did that this week, and I was trying to do an even better cleanup job, and one of the boxes that I cut down to flatten out actually had her address from her old house in Johnson City on it. So that box has been sitting over there in the corner for 11 years now. Well, 10
And
years.
we hadn't used it.
And we hadn't used it, so it went in the needs to be tossed pile.
But yeah, I'm not, I used to be of the mind, list it and forget it, but I'm not that way anymore. I have still, what?
Regina, keep talking.
My sister Regina just joined us also. What was I saying now? Regina, what did I was saying?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Moving.
But yeah. Oh, I'm not the listed and forget it person anymore. After this whole fourth quarter, whatever happened, I do not know. But I'm still doing what the auction professor said to do. I'm still every month ending all of my listings and doing sell similar. And I've had an amazing month already. And all I can think is what my fourth quarter could have been like. Because my fourth quarter was okay, but it was not what I was expecting.
Well, Regina, if it makes you feel any better, you were actually in one of my dreams last night, and there was an avalanche, and I told you where to go to be safe. So, even though you're
Saved you.
currently least favorite cisternal, I would still save your life in an avalanche if possible. But you got this one. Do you
Yeah.
ever sew plush?
I do. Well, I have a wonderful, wonderful lady who does repairs for me. We're part of a homeschool co-op, and a couple of years ago, I think I posted on there, can anybody make small repairs, for stuffed animals and stuff? And she has volunteered. And I give her a bag, and she does it at her convenience. And it's just, it's been a good, what's the word? Just an agreement that she and I have.
She makes some extra money.
Yeah. She's a retired doll maker, and she sews costumes for our local ballet company. So she's got skills, but she's content to fix my little plush.
Yeah, I thought about having a little wooden fence here that I could peek over, like Wilson on Home Improvement, but
Yeah.
I'd get tired of holding it, so I gave up.
Yeah.
Humidity.
Oh, how do you fight? We keep a dehumidifier. It's not running while we record, but we have a dehumidifier running at all times down here. And then I have one out in the building where my stuff is stored. But we also have a really good heat pump. What is it called? Mini split heat pump out there. And if it gets really humid, I can hit a button and the dehumidifier comes on that also. How long do you leave your higher priced items up? I have started being a little more aggressive. In fact, with this whole ending and relisting stuff, I do 100 at a time, and I go through it, and anything that's high price that I've had for a while, I go ahead and I start marking it down. $5, $10. I mean, I did a couple of them today that were $20 down, because it's not doing me any good with the higher prices, even though I could probably get it if I waited long enough. I'm trying to be a little bit more aggressive with getting stuff moving, because we have so much to get listed, and I'm wanting to get stuff moving quicker.
We tried a thing last year. It was one of my crazy ideas that you took
Yeah.
the oldest. It was a great resounding failure.
Yes.
It was. You took like the oldest X number of items, and she put them on like a 25% clearance sale on eBay, and then after 30 days you moved them to like a 50%, and then put in new ones at 25%, and that just didn't seem to get any sales.
It didn't get hardly any at all. But again, was it because things weren't being seen because they were so old? I don't know.
That could be that they weren't even in the algorithm to be seen anymore.
Yep. So this seems to be working, and I'm going to try to be a little, and I'm trying to tweak some listings, just kind of keep the algorithm happy, and just fill in these daggone item specifics. I'm still like 700. Now, I was at 5,000 when they did this last, whatever they did to make us change the item specifics. Now, it's all recommended, but I like to see that number get smaller, but I'm still at like 700. It's annoying.
Yeah, we've been homeschooling. My son he's 14 now, so we started homeschool in 8th grade, and we started homeschooling his kindergarten year, because I'd been a software developer for most of my adult life, and I had an opportunity to do a contract for a friend that was good money, and then it ended, and it was like, what are we going to do? And it was like, homeschool, and then we decided to sell on Amazon, and made enough money that I didn't have to work a full-time job anymore. So it was nice to be able to stay home. It's had its ups and its downs, mostly ups. Got a few headaches, but we're down to two at home.
2 at home.
Daniel's 17. He's a junior, and he wanted to go back to public school for high school, so he did for a couple years. And then with the way they were doing quarantine, I mean, he was on the cheerleading team, and every time he turned around, he was being quarantined because somebody had been around somebody. So he finally just was like, I just want to be home. And he's doing an online program to finish high school. And then RJ, my son, is we just do a curriculum, like a specific science and a specific math, and then we go to the homeschool co-op on Mondays for 14 weeks each semester and teach there. And
Robert's there. Well, this year he's doing history and science for them, but I just stay here. I work the eBay. Now, there was a question up here. Approximately how many orders do you ship out per day? Well, let's just say today I shipped 52, and that was for Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I guess 15 to 20 a day. Some days are better, some days are worse. And then I do have, Facebook, and like today I had 2 Etsy. That's, but probably only 15 to 20. I'm trying to be more aggressive. I'm taking offers when they're reasonable too. I'm just trying to move stuff. It's just, it's just one of those, you think it should go for this amount, but you realize, you could do the waiting game, but I don't think so.
And she does the listing. I do the work on clothes, and
he
clean,
helps me ship, and he does my cleaning.
Anything she doesn't want to do.
Exactly.
She has the listing down where it would be not worth my time to try to list, because she does that so well and so fast. It's a better use of my time to just clean and do other stuff that I would be, instead of doing something that I would be much slower at. Got to work where we're most efficient.
Deb asked, does running sales work for you? I run constant sales, and I keep them short, usually like 2 or 3 days only. I think just that buyer mentality where they're getting to the end. I swear, every day, the last day of my sale, I seem to get a little bit more, because somebody thinks that sale is about to end and they better go ahead and get it. But then the next day I just do another sale. I have a friend who does this also, and she says some of her best days are the day after her sale ends, but I have never found that to be true for me. It's like if I don't keep a sale going, my sales just plummet.
But how do returns work on Facebook?
I haven't had any. I've had one customer ask me that they weren't happy with the item, and it was just a couple of dollars, and she said it wasn't working, so I just gave her a refund. But I don't think Facebook allows returns. Now, you may do something between the customer through messaging, but I don't think all my listings on there, and I don't think I can even change it, says no returns. Now, I do returns on eBay. I do what they recommend, the 30 days, and I do the free returns. But
let's see that one on the pegboard, the new toy.
Yeah, it's either a Charlie doll or a Lolly doll. There's a pink one and a blue one, and I always get the name wrong. But anything Fisher Price, pretty much goes up there. I think, yeah, everything up there is Fisher Price because it's just my favorite thing. But yeah, this is the second one, I think, since we started making these videos that I have found of this. So it's one of my favorites. But yeah, I'm going to get some more hooks and get some more stuff up there. I did just recently decide not to put a vintage in the box Little People Farm up there. I just didn't think there was going to be enough space for it, so I have got it listed. How fast you list stuff. Yeah, I have a system, and not everybody could do, I don't use my phone except for taking pictures. We even toyed this week with maybe doing like drafts of clothes on the phone. But, I have a spreadsheet and I take pictures. I list what it is on my spreadsheet. I weigh it, I pack it, and then I just do that for however long. Usually could be 2 to 4 hours. I just stand there. I have piles of stuff, or I'll bring IKEA bags and just keep them at my feet. And I just pick it up, take the pictures, type it up, and then at the end of the day, I work down here from like 8:30 to usually 4:30 doing different things. But then at like 4:30 or so, I take everything to be stored away in the baskets in the other building, and then I put their bin location on. I print out. I haven't figured out a better way to do that. I just print out my spreadsheet of everything I've done that day, and then I write the bin location, and then I add that back. And then the next morning, I'm done by like 4:35, unless I'm going to do some stuff on the computer in the evenings. But the next morning, I'm up at 6 o'clock, if not earlier, and I just copy paste, and I just do one listing after another and drink my coffee.
Because what you have in the spreadsheet is exactly what goes on
what I
eBay.
want. I've already done the research. That is the one thing. When I go upstairs in the evening, I get all my research done, add my keywords, fix my price.
And you're usually watching the YouTube.
I always have YouTube videos going. So I'm watching others.
And then with the clothes, when I do clothes, we have a spreadsheet just for clothes that I put, like Levi's 501 blues, button fly, men's jeans, and then put measurements in specific columns. And then there's a formula that grabs all that and creates the title and a description based on anything I put about condition, and puts all the measurements in a description field. And then the same thing, she just takes those and copy pastes that into eBay, and it's pretty much just a copy paste job when you're listing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll get it. Sorry.
How do we fit in filming videos? I do a lot of, I do the watch solds by myself. Now that can be dangerous because a lot of times I forget to hit something and I have to do it again. But he's usually off doing church on Wednesday nights and
karate classes
at night and whatever. So when he's not here, I take care of those 2 videos, and then pretty much I tell him I need to do a haul video, and we just kind of pick a time and we'll come down here and get it done. And we probably 1 or 2 days a week. I'm not getting ahead with the videos very much, so
there for a while last fall we were ahead. Mm-hmm. And a video would be released like a month after we recorded
I don't like
it.
That.
Because then it's already sold 2 weeks back, and we release a what sold on something, and then it shows up in a haul video 2 weeks later, which sometimes that's just how it's going to be with things. How do you gauge the price on Plush?
My Plush. Now, if it's got a brand, D&D, I can usually look those up and find something similar, if not the exact same thing. Those, I just use solds on eBay. But if it's something that I can't find any comps for, I get a lot of Plush that there's just nobody else on there. Then I just kind of use my gut. If it's really good quality or a nice size or just something tells me I'll just throw $29.99 or $49.99 or something on it, and then just see what kind of offers I get. I use best offer on everything, and I go from there. But a lot of times the manufacturer, or I can look up, another vintage dog and see if there's anything that looks similar, and then just go from there. But that's why sometimes some of my stuff sits for a while, because I'm probably way off point, and I need to go in there on occasion and start marking stuff down. I used to do that, but like 25 at a time of my oldest. Now that we're doing this ending and sell similar, I don't know what's old anymore. So it's other than memory.
Yeah, because some things used to say, you first listed it 2 years ago, and now everything's in the past month.
That's one of those hindsight things. I wish, and I know other people put codes in their listing that says this was listed in, December of 2020. But I didn't think to do that. And so now I don't know. I just have to base it on, I have certain totes that I know have had very little movement. And those are the ones that I'm getting ready to do an inventory soon. I keep telling myself that. But I'm going to do an inventory, and all the stuff that's in those totes, I'm going to start trying to do something to get them moving, whether lower the price or make some lots.
And one here is Etsy. Good platform to sell on.
Etsy, I'm doing really well there. Now, I started only listing vintage stuff that I know has a date on it, because I'm not too familiar with some things that don't have dates. I could do more research, but for right now, I sorted through eBay, and I picked the highest priced first, and then I started just looking through them, and anything that had a date that was before, when I started 2001, I just started putting it on there. And I've made, I think, 12 sales on there in the few months, but I only have like 130 listings on there. The bad thing with Etsy, which it's not really bad, is you have to pay 20 cents up front to list it, but it's for 4 months. And then if it hasn't sold in those 4 months, then they'll charge me 20 cents again. But their shipping is easy. Their listing, I use List Perfectly to do all my cross listing, and it just transfers over there seamlessly. I don't have any issues. You do have a few extra blocks you got to fill in, like who made it and what decade it's from, but it's real easy. I like Etsy. It's probably my third favorite. Facebook's easy, and I do a lot more sales on there, but eBay, of course, is my main one.
CS is here from California. So Rebel is normally laid out in bed this time of day reading a book, and this is killing her. But I told her that we can't do this at 6 because that's like 3 p.m. in California time. So, anybody that's at work is not going to be able to get on here. So she was whining about, we're doing the next one at 7 at least. But we got to be here late enough so the people in California could hopefully be off work.
Yeah, I'm not going to bed that early. I do go lay down. It's my time to veg. I go and lay down and I read. I'm a big zombie apocalypse book lover. And I've read hundreds, and I always have a book going. In fact, I got a really good book going right now. So that's what I do. That's
just relax.
My relax.
And then I get a text that says, I forgot my water. Can you stop playing your video game and go get my water and bring it to me?
Yeah, because by then I have a weighted blanket and I'm all snugged.
Let's see. Chantel, yeah, you're welcome. I mean, I'm saying you're welcome. She's the one with all the knowledge here on the toys with the help. Because I'll see comments and I'll say, somebody needs help. They have a question, or they send an email, and yeah, we're happy to help.
Wendy's asking, when you end and sell similar, does it ask you why you're ending? That's on the phone. It does that. But when you're doing bulk editing, which that's how I do it, you're just end listing. It doesn't ask you anything. And then it goes into unsolds, and then I go into unsolds, and I just click all the ones that I'm going to relist, and I hit a button, sell similar. So it doesn't ask you. That's a phone thing. Because, yeah, when I'm sell something on another platform or on eBay, I use my custom SKU to tell me where else it's listed. Then I have to go in, and especially if I'm ending it on eBay, then I do say, or Facebook does that too. And I always say, I rather not say, just because it's none of your business.
And I was trying to read the name, and I was like, I got to parse all this out. But Cali Gal in Oklahoma, hello. I'm from Missouri, so we have jokes about people from Oklahoma, or at least their sports teams. So even though Oklahoma usually, beat Mizzou, and Oklahoma State too, but
yeah. Deb is saying that they were surprised that you're selling Plush on Poshmark. Now, I tried Poshmark. I just couldn't do all that sharing. Now, if I could leave it there and know it would be okay, I might try that again. I've heard people are selling Plush on Poshmark, but that whole sharing and then my phone constantly dinging because somebody's following me, I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. So I may go back to it at some point, but right now I'm doing well with Etsy and Facebook. I think I may even let Mercari go, because I heard somebody say that they hide your listings after 30 days, and I haven't sold anything there in a couple of weeks.
And for the amount of time you've been putting into cross listing, the number of sales you get is very low. Like with
low.
Bonanza, you don't get very many sales, but there's zero work with it.
Zero work. Yeah.
So that's not bad, but having to go in and do all the cross listing and only getting a couple sales a week or something, it's not worth the time. You'd be better off, listing 30 more things on eBay or something. Where is it?
What do you enjoy most about selling Plush? I don't know where it started. I didn't start with Plush, but I really got the bug when my youngest three, who are now 21, 20, and 17, but when they were little, early 2000s, we would go to yard sales, and it was pretty much just to get out of the house and find them some stuff that they wanted. And then I started realizing, I had been selling a little bit on eBay, but not a whole lot, and then I realized the money that I could be making. And it didn't start out as Plush, because I have little boys and they just really weren't into Plush. It was, the action figures and little people and all of that stuff. But somewhere along the way, I don't know what happened, I just started picking up more Plush and doing well with it, and then it just really then became my focus, because there wasn't somebody out there who was selling as much as I was. And for a while I kept thinking it's my little secret, but then he convinced me to do this, and it's not a little secret anymore.
No, lots of people, and you could find it so cheaply. It seems like other toys, like action figures and things like that, they always seem to want to sell for a higher price at yard sales, but the Plush, it's a Plush, just sell it for 50 cents or something.
It's a quarter or 50 cents, and sometimes it's $1, but very seldom. I pay a little bit more when I go to estate sales and stuff, but for the most part at yard sales, it's 50 cents, and I have enough experience now that I pretty much pick up, all the Kohl's cares and just so much that way.
So Lizzie, Oklahoma State is the better of the two Oklahoma schools. So you got that going for you. At least you're not a Sooner.
Do I ship Plush international? Well, I used to, and I still do global shipping, but I think the year before last, the fourth quarter, when I had so many packages lost or delayed internationally, I just kind of backed away from it, and I have been doing some, but I've even backed away. I picked like 4 countries that I knew had delivery notifications. You get a thing that says it has been delivered, and that was Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Japan. I picked those 5, and I was doing them for a while, but I've even backed off on that now. It's too hard to get it's, if there's an issue, you're stuck. You know what I mean? You can't, if they want, you can't get your return, because then you have to figure out how you're going to get it shipped back to you, because they don't have to offer that. And usually it's just not high dollar stuff. I don't ever put high dollar stuff for international sales anyway. But
a lot of your internationals go through freight forwarder. I mean, they're not. I mean, for us, it's a domestic sale, but it's actually going international. But a lot of it's through the freight forwarders, isn't it?
now
Would you
these
say
days,
most of them?
yeah, a lot of them. I mean, like today I shipped something to, I believe, Canada. And that's fine, because I don't usually, but I don't do international. And I may just quit all international other than global shipping.
Yeah, Lizzie's talking about the price of Plush. I was surprised too to find out what they sell for. One of my friends, his wife has started selling on eBay, and she picked up, I don't even remember what it was, but for a couple bucks at the Salvation Army store, and it sells for like $150 or something. They were just amazed at what some of the stuff sells for too. Like that, even that little kitty tiger thing I found that you said sells for 40 or 50. It's just a plain simple. I would have passed it over, except for at the bins I just throw everything in the cart and let her sort out what's not good. It's just faster that way.
All right.
How do you handle low balls? She handles the really low balls. She hollers at me and then tells me the really snotty response she wants to give, and then she types up something that's better.
Usually I just counter with whatever, with what I want. And sometimes if I'm not in a good mood, then I'll do like $1 less than what I have it listed for. But usually, and you wouldn't believe, a lot of times we'll go back a few and then they end up buying it at my offered price. So I very seldom decline an offer. I just don't. I always try to keep the momentum going. But the ones that bother me the most are the ones that go less with their second offer. Those are irritating. But usually I just go ahead and redo my last offer back to them. But there comes to a point where usually I'll send an offer, and I've done this a couple times just today. This is the best I can do. And if they come back with a less price than that, then I might decline it. But I try not to decline.
How long have we been married? Too long. Some days. Today's not a too long day, though. Today's been good.
Yeah. March will be 10 years. And
10
so,
years.
no, none of the kids are shared.
No. By the
He
time
he was a good man and married somebody with 3 young kids. But he had the youngest. So when we got married, we had 4 boys here at home with us. So
it's been a job sometimes. The kids have helped. When we did Amazon, they helped a lot more when we did Amazon, because the tasks were, we did mostly grocery and health and beauty. A lot of
bagging.
multi-packs, like
Multi-packs.
Like we'd buy 3 bags of rice at Walmart, shove them in a bag, and it's a set of 3. We did a lot of that, and it was easy for them to do. And one of the things that we'd put on our list to talk about, if we didn't get questions or anything, was having your kids work for you. I'm not an accountant. I'm not an attorney. I'm just a dirt clod that doesn't know much legal or accounting stuff. But one thing that, as we understand it, is that if your kids are working for you and they are under 18 years of age, you can pay them a reasonable, I don't know if it's the minimum. Pay them something reasonable for what the job is. You can't
for their
pay them
age and their experience.
You can't pay them $90 an hour or something for bagging things, but you can pay them, and you can deduct it as an expense, but you and they do not have to pay the Medicare or Social Security taxes up to some number of thousands of dollars. I don't know what that is, but by all means,
check with
an accountant. So we paid, there were 3 of them, the 3 young, RJ and Daniel and Miles, and we've paid them up to like $2,000 or $3,000 a year combined. I think it was like $2,500 one year. And that was we were able to take that off as an expense, but they didn't have to pay any taxes on it, which worked out good for them. They got good money. They got some work experience. We got work done, and we didn't, there's no taxes to be paid on it. From our understanding, please talk to an attorney or an accountant or an IRS agent or something. But that's our understanding, but they have to be under 18, I believe, for that to work.
We are considering becoming an LLC, and I think I'm at the point where I want to hire, some part-time help on the, just some part-time help. I can't keep up. I can't keep up, and I want to keep up. I've mentioned this in one of my recent videos. I want this year to be better. The last 2 years, I've basically made about the same amount on eBay, and this year I want to make a big increase. So we'll see.
Right, and the average sale price has been going up. Years ago, when we looked at it, her average sale price, this was
15.
years ago. I think at one point it was 12.
12.
Might have been back right when you were still working full time. It's been years and years ago, but now it's much higher now. It's gone up over the years. Inflation, prices go up over time. But we've also been picking up other things that sell more too, like the pots and pans. Instead of selling for the, $10, $12, $20, some of that stuff sells for $60, $80, and that's bringing the average price up, which is good, except that I spent so much time packing a daggum pot and pan this morning that I wanted to smash it.
An electric skillet.
Yes, it was horrible. I probably spent 20 minutes trying to pack it because none of the boxes wanted to work right. It was too big, or the box is too big, or the box is too skinny, and I finally went back to the first box and just patted around it a bunch. But you can make more money, but it took more time. I could have packed, I can't even tell you how many Plush in that amount of time. They're just so quick and easy.
Plush are so much nicer, and that's, he wants to go to these estate sales and buy this oddball stuff. And so
I gotta pack
it's his
it.
job. It's his job to. I've already told him we have 3 breakables already for tomorrow, and that was this morning. I don't know what it is now. So before he can do anything tomorrow, he's got to pack these daggone breakables.
See, what's your process when you bring Plush into your house? Bags and bags of Plush and toys. Separate them by brand, condition, type.
No, I separate them initially into needs a bath and a spa day, or needs nothing, and then that stuff stays until I'm ready to work on it.
So they get put into the stuff that goes up to be put in the washing machine, the stuff that gets steamed, that kind of stuff, or spot cleaned, or whatever it is that it needs. Stuff that needs, some of it goes up to the kitchen if it's not a Plush, like if it's a food
Dishes
processor or something like that,
coffee grinder that
they go to the kitchen for me to clean, and there's a pile of them sitting there between the kitchen and the living room that I get to look for every now and then. You really need to deal with that, and it gets smaller, then it gets bigger, and it's never quite always gone away.
I'll say, that what was that one thing, that Pizzelle? We had a Pizzelle thing, and I sold one for like $80 some, and I'm like, there's another one sitting in that box somewhere.
I'll get that again.
So I told him, you've got to go find that so I can get that one listed.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of a Pizzelle before until I saw it at the, was it a Goodwill or something one day, a thrift store?
Yes.
And it's like a fancy waffle maker thing or something, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. For those thin. Let's see. So yeah, I don't really sort by brand or anything now. It's just, right now I have a U-Haul box and a laundry basket and some IKEA bags over there. Some stuff just finished their spa upstairs, so they just came downstairs this evening. So they're just kind of at my feet. And then I have my piles that just I need something to go with it. I know there's something to go with it, and I just haven't gotten to them yet. And so they just kind of stay over there to remind me I need to do something with them.
We are considering doing the LLC. It's on the list. I had one when I did the software development contract. It was kind of a buffer, a piece of legal barrier between a client and getting sued and losing your personal stuff. It can help with that. I think it would just help with us with record keeping, because then I would be forced to do the record keeping in probably each month instead of doing it every year at the beginning of
tax season, when it's time to start figuring out taxes.
She has insurance through the VA. I don't have any health insurance, and So I have to get it. Well, I do, but I have to get it through the
Marketplace.
health insurance marketplace. So every year in December, I have to come up with some sort of estimate for what next year. So then it ends up being a pain. And now I have a bunch to do now. I got to get it all ready for this year. And I went to school to be an accountant starting out, and decided that wasn't for me. And now I really just still don't like the accounting stuff, but it's got to be done.
Have I done the blue boxes? That's the Goodwill blue boxes. I have done them twice. I think I have a video on one of my videos is what is it called when you open them up?
It's an opening. It's a
Yeah.
reveal.
A reveal.
There you go.
I did some. I've done them twice. The first time wasn't as good as the second time, but I've seen other people's videos and they get some good stuff too. But it's hit and miss with them, and I showed this in my video. Almost every single time, there's this huge plush in there that takes up most of the space, and that's annoying.
Because a lot of times you could sell a small plush for the same price as a big plush.
Yeah,
and have a lot more of them in there.
Yeah, I could have had, but then again, I've seen blue boxes where it was full of tie beanies. So I sell them, but I don't particularly want to find a whole bunch again.
The blue boxes would be like if you're farther north and your yard sale shut down earlier in the year and you don't have the best thrift stores, they could be a good source for getting some of the things that you need. You know, for getting plush to sell or clothes if you want to try that. We probably won't ever do that because they just look kind of scary because they talk about it being damaged and all that. But it's a good way to get inventory when you can't get it. When we need that much inventory, we just go off to the Goodwill bins, and like especially now that there are 2 in St. Louis, that we know that there are 2 there. Mm-hmm. My parents live about an hour and 20 minutes north of the farthest one down into the St. Louis, so we can go stay at their house, not have a hotel bill, and then drive down, as they say, drive down into the city is how Dad puts it, and then we spend the day down there and then drive back and hang out with them. And my son goes with us and he hangs out. He gets treated like royalty when he's there. Gets to eat whatever he wants. 'Cause my mom's always like, what do you want to eat? And just whatever he wants, she'll make or get. And it's just, we get to see a lot of family. So that is a better solution for us in general than the Goodwill blue boxes. We'll probably do another opening one of these days.
We went to some kind of seminar thing, eBay type thing in Chicago, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 3 years.
2 years ago,
and,
2019.
Oh yeah, and that's how we initially found multiple Goodwill bins. We happened to pass through Indianapolis and stopped, and we filled our pilot going there, and then we decided to do that trip again. So that type of sourcing has become the big thing. We enjoy it so much that we went ahead and invested in a trailer so that we can, when I decide I'm ready to get a bunch of inventory, we just make a trip. And we've done Indianapolis a couple of times, but now that we realize Indianapolis has 2 and we can stop in Nashville and they have 2.
They have 3 in Indy.
I mean, not Indianapolis, in St. Louis.
Yeah, they have 2, but
yeah,
it's
Indianapolis has 3 and then there's 1 on the way there.
2 on the way now.
2 on the way.
Because we used to stop at the one in Clarksville, Indiana on the way up, and then on the way back if we had time. But now there's one in Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville. If I'm however you're supposed to say it. But St. Louis is just a better trip for us because we could stop at Nashville on the way, and then spend the days in St. Louis, hang out with family, get to see people. You know, my parents are getting older. It's nice to go see them. And then on the way back, the way to go to my parents is either through Nashville and up, or you could go through Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky, across that way. So if we had planned on stopping in Louisville on the way back home, but we couldn't get in. We probably could have gotten one more bag in the trailer, but it would have been tough to get the door shut before it fell out on our heads.
So that's my favorite type of sourcing, get a whole bunch at one time. But we have lots of companies around here that do estate sales, and I stay pretty busy with them also. So, you know, for a very small town that we live in, I have lots of sourcing opportunities.
Cali girl says she's been sick Yeah. If you're sick, if you're doing it on your own and you're sick, then it's easy to get behind. You still got to get up and get the shipments out, but then things are selling and you're not getting your listings done the way you want. It's tough.
Yeah, if
Like
you're
the
not
days,
listing regularly, you start seeing it pretty quickly. Like when we went on this last trip for a week, it was 3 weeks before I started seeing regular sales again.
I mean, you had sales every day, but they
Yeah.
weren't at the level that you expect them to be.
Right. But
Because
now, yeah, we're back on track right now.
it's almost like you need to have some in the bank so that if you're sick, you can go in and click the button in your sick delirium and get 2 things listed to let the algorithm know you're still there. Because the algorithm, it's like a mystery as to what makes it happen. Like it's like, how do you show up in the YouTube algorithm? How do you show up in the eBay? How do you show up on the Facebook algorithm if you're trying to run a page or something? And it's a mystery. They never want to tell you what the rules are, what makes you big in there, because then everybody will just play to that. So listing, it seems like when you have sales, you do better.
This
Responding to offers, some people say helps.
Yep, and sending out those offers. When I wake up in the mornings, I usually have probably anywhere from 40 to 60 items that I can send offers out on. And then all throughout the day, if I just need a second to not be doing whatever it is I'm doing, I'll go look and work on them again. So I probably send out 70, 80, 90 offers a day. And it usually results in, 3 or 4 or 5 sales, which, that's fine. Every day I'm doing that,
And then, but does sending the offer do something magical in the
Exactly.
algorithm? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but you're getting a few sales a day from it, which is good.
Yep.
Yeah, switching from RN to eBay, that's a transition in a job. But if you've got the knowledge of something, because people have asked us, what should I sell on eBay? Whatever you know.
Whatever you know.
If you've got girls, that start with things that if you got little girls, start with things that you know about. Sell little girls' clothes, sell the toys that they have, then start branching out into other things. If you got boys, sell boy things. Just work in your knowledge. If you know glass, like some of the figurines and stuff like that, or dishes, start there and then work your way into knowing different things. Like find like we didn't know diddly about clothes. I mean, nothing. Just we know how to wear them, and that's about it. But so we sat down and just watched different YouTube videos of
made lists of brands.
And the one guy that I made a big list of the brands he sells, but he shops in California, and it's a much more upscale area than where we are, and it what he sells just isn't going to work. He talked about selling Patagonia. I think we found two. Maybe 3 Patagonia things.
Never Lululemon, whatever
one.
it is.
I think we found one.
Oh yeah, I did, and I think I kept it.
So yeah, there you go. But you just have to find what works in your area. We live in East Tennessee in Greenville, and it's just the number of rich people here that are going to wear that kind of fancy stuff. It just doesn't exist. When we go to yard sales, we find
Wranglers,
Wrangler
and Levi's,
jeans, and
lots of Levi's.
a lot of Wranglers, a lot of Walmart, J.C. Penney type brands. Are they still around?
Who, JCPenney's?
Yeah, like the St. John's Bay. A lot of that Stafford, Dockers, just a lot of that generic stuff that stuff I used to wear when I worked in an office. It's just we don't have the fancy brands here. If we go to a bigger city or something, you're probably going to have a lot better luck with that kind of thing. Your stuff will probably move faster, which is nice.
But we've been happy with the sales in clothing, so it's something we're going to keep up with. But when I get ready to hire somebody, it's definitely going to be to work on clothes. I can handle the toys, but the clothes, that's something else. If we've missed your question, please let us know.
Yeah,
we're trying.
It's scrolled up. We're trying to catch up. Which single plush have you seen? I've sold this before. What single plush have you sold the most of?
Oh, that's hard. It's probably brands more than a specific plush. I sell a lot of Dandy and Aurora, Commonwealth. But, I'm always looking for like the Animal Fair, Henry, and the Fisher Price stuff, and the little snoozums, and I've sold probably 5 of those little snoozums, and some people have never even seen them. They sell for $140, $150 if they're in good shape, even more. So, I can't, off the top of my mind, I can't think of a single. I sell a lot of Opus and Garfield and characters and just, but yeah, I do say that a lot. I've sold this before, but when you've been doing this for 20 some years, you're gonna see a lot of the same stuff.
Let's see, pool noodles. We have some pool noodles here. We bought to wrap things with. Some of the, we maybe used them a little bit. I usually end up doing bubble wrap. We use it's the medium size. We have small, and we call it the small and the big, but I think it's actually the medium sized. And a lot of times,
wraps the heck out of that stuff with bubble wrap.
I usually for a plate or something, I just kind of wrap it a couple times. If it's too big and the bubble wrap doesn't cover, I usually take a piece of bubble wrap and fold it in half or in thirds, and then put it on the edge and tape it, which is kind of serving like a small, like a pool noodle would do. Pool noodles. I might need to try some of these days. See if a pool noodle will be faster.
I've used them a few times, with pictures. I don't sell them a whole lot. I watch the Crazy Lamp Lady. She finds some amazing pictures. I might have to open up my mind to that one. But I've seen people use them for that, and I've used them just a couple of times. But I have them just in case. But he does all my breakables, so he doesn't even, I don't think he's ever even thought about it.
Daniel's just getting home, so if it gets loud down here, it's him busting through the door.
Courtney's here. Hi, Courtney.
Let's see, the bins. Yeah, the bins can get crazy. Sometimes there are the ones in Asheville are decent, but there are some people there that have gotten kind of rude. When we used to go every Friday. When Daniel and RJ were younger, and we were homeschooling. It was just, that was our trip. Every Friday we would go there, and they would do schoolwork on, sitting on the side or on the way there, on the way back. And you see the same people a lot, and they know, that you get Plush, so they would toss you the Plush, or you would, see a book that looked good, you'd toss it their way, whatever it is that they're buying, which is always nice. But then there's always some people there that are just downright rude.
I thought the one Nashville Benz is awful.
Yeah,
it was awful. I really don't like it.
I thought we were going to have a fight.
But St. Louis, I never had an issue at all. But I'm not afraid. I'm not. I'm little, but it makes it easier for me to just kind of push my way into between people who are looking, and it doesn't bother me to just get right on in there. I'm not afraid.
Southwest Ohio. Where's Wesley? Wesley's in Southeast Ohio. One of her older boys.
I have 2 big boys. They're in their 30s.
And yard sales are going to run out much earlier up there. Lizzie said they run them all. Did you say they run them all year in Florida? Mm-hmm. That'd be the life right there.
Yeah, we're going to come visit Lizzie one of these days.
Hey, Travis. Good to see you there. Travis, I've known him for years. He's an old man now. And by old man, he's probably, 30 or something. But he used to work at the Dairy Queen, when I took RJ when he was a little kid, we'd go out to eat at Dairy Queen, and they always treated us good in there, and treated RJ really well. He's grown now. He's got kids of his own. Mm-hmm. Got 2, one on the way.
Yep. Let's see.
See, no one wants Plush. We find that.
Exactly. There'll be an entire bin of Plush, and I'm there all by myself. I bought so much that had been there. Nobody bothered with it.
And it's nice because you don't have to fight for it. You see other things that like when the clothes come out, people are just they're like it. Elbows, and sometimes they're rude, sometimes they're not, but they're just tearing through it. Whereas we can come through after they've gone through it, and almost all the Plush is still there, unless it's something that their kid wants or something they've been looking for or whatever, and it's just there for us to pick up and look at. And the way we do it when we go together is she'll go through and just dig for stuff, or I go through and I'll look at a Plush, and if it's not shredded or just completely like I don't think we're ever going to be able to clean it, I just throw it in a cart. I just throw it in the cart, and then I'll go in the cart, and then I find her, and then she sorts through and gets rid of half of it, and then we move on to something else. And now since we're doing clothes, I just move off and do clothes. But that gets us through that faster, and then she goes back through and looks at everything again to see what you missed, because a lot of times things get moved around, things were buried before but now they're uncovered. You could find things that you didn't see the first time through, or you start finding a lot of the little
stuff.
people. Like I went through the second time around and found all those Littlest Pet Shops that were things that were just scattered all over. That I spent 10 or 15 minutes picking all of them up, and you've sold one of them for what, $20 already?
20. Yeah, that's the thing with the bins. Usually it's spread all out. I spent probably 10 minutes picking up constructs, but I got so much, and it's one of those things I'll probably sell for probably $75 to $100. So it's worth the time a lot of times to get that little stuff.
Yeah, Courtney said we get great views. We do get, you guys
It's
are great
very
with the views.
good.
We get a lot of views for the number of subscribers we have, and we appreciate it. We look forward to the comments. So it's it's nice to see the feedback, and let us know what you like, let us know what you don't like. I'll soften the blow to her ego with what
What?
not liked.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't get very many comments that.
No, we get good comments.
We
They're
get
they're,
very
they're
good
always good,
comments.
so we appreciate them. And the feedback, getting the feedback is good. It's not just like it's not an ego thing. It lets us know that we're providing value to people, because if we're not providing value to you guys, then we could spend this time listing other stuff. But if we're helping people, that's I don't have a full-time job, to be honest. I don't. I spend I help at the church on Wednesday nights when I could be home working, because my son's here 3 nights a week, and when he's here I try to hang out with him for a chunk of that time. But other times I could be working. It lets me go help out at the church youth group thing. We help once a month with the
Second Harvest.
the Second Harvest food bank food deliveries. It lets us have a lifestyle that's more than just putting our nose on a grindstone in an office. So letting us know that we're providing value to you guys keeps it going, because if you guys are watching and we're not helping anybody, there's really no point in it. We want to help people.
Yeah, and I had this grand idea that I should videotape me doing my pulls and packs, and then somebody it turned into a fiasco. And then somebody was like, I like the way you're doing it now. And I like the way I'm doing it now. It's just a whole lot easier. I get to show way more, especially like my hauls. I can show way more here than if I was out trying to. And I'm going to try to do some more of that live stuff at yard sales. But you just don't get to see as much when I do it that way. But I'm sure every once in a while I'll have that one that I wished I would have recorded, and I need to start doing that more.
Yeah, and it takes longer to edit those videos too, because I have to cut so much out that it takes a long time to cut it out. We're gonna get really dark here. Let me go get the light.
Yeah, we keep forgetting to turn the light on off the auto.
I'm not even sure I'd know how to do it. It would probably just go off and never come back on.
Should I sell the Dandy Christmas Year Bears separately? I've got 6 of them. If they're a pair, I would keep them. If it's like a boy girl, I would keep them together. If somebody wants just one, they may send you a message saying, would you sell just one? And I do that quite often. If they want one thing out of it, and no, I don't change the listing. I just tell them, put it in the offer terms that you just want this one item. And then I screenshot it just in case there might be an issue in the future, but I have never had an issue. But as far as lots, I would keep them together. I don't know if I would do all 6, because then you're starting to get into a really large box. But I would do the 2, definitely. Oh, Secret Keepin's pup. I've heard of it, but no, I haven't had one. That's the one, it's got like a key or something, right? I think I don't remember. I may have had one time, because I remember something about a key. but I do not know.
Florida. Disney World. I went to Disney World once back in the 90s. It was interesting.
I was in the military, and right after boot camp, that was one of our trips. We got to go to Disney. And then when I was in the military, I was stationed in Hawaii. I actually flew to California to go to Disney with my big boys when they were little. But yeah, love Disney, love Universal Studios, SeaWorld, Knott's Berry Farms.
I think we'll have to make that work one of these days, because there's a guy down there that does podcasts, and he does like a live event every now and then, and he's in the Orlando area. So see, we could go down for that, and you guys could go sourcing, and I could go do something else, but then you wouldn't get, crazy weird stuff for me to ship later.
Lizzie, you've got to go to a Ben's. Got to. They're interesting. You'll find books there. I know you're a book person.
I'm not sure if all the Goodwill bins are doing it now, but the one in Asheville in North Carolina, it's about an hour and a half from here. There were some booksellers there, and they eventually gave up because Goodwill started scanning all the books and taking the good ones and listing them privately on eBay or Amazon or something.
But it may not be. You still find things that don't have a barcode. They can't scan them. Because I still buy books there when we go.
Oh yeah, the shoes, the bins, the shoe sellers. That's what I was talking to the guy at one of the places, one of the bins in Nashville. Don't know his name. I called him Jerry because he was wearing a Jerry Rice jersey. He's wearing a Jerry Rice jersey, and anyway, he was telling me how crazy he sells shoes, but he said some of the shoe sellers there get pretty crazy with how angry they get and aggressive over what they're getting in from the bins.
Yeah, the Plush being washed. I just had to buy a new washer, and the only ones that were available were ones without an agitator, and I wasn't happy about that at first, but now I'm actually kind of glad as far as cleaning Plush, because a lot of times the tags aren't damaged where it peeled off the coating or the words off of it. They're not as rough on the ribbons and the eyes. I can put bigger Plush in there without an issue. But yeah, if you've got an agitator, they can be rough on Plush, and I've destroyed many of them. You open it up and all you see is fluff because it's everywhere and it's on everything. But yeah, agitators are an issue, but they clean better. Right now I have to, and it's all mechanized. I have to make sure I put it on a certain setting and turn off the hot water and rinse thing, and then I have to take off the economy because the economy just barely wets a Plush. If you've got some in there, it only puts this teeny tiny bit of water in there
because they're light. Because the washing machine does something to weigh the clothes.
Weigh the clothes.
And if it's very light, then it doesn't.
And they don't get clean. But without an agitator, they don't. I tend to have to wash things 2 and 3 times.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes on some things because I just have to keep pre-treating it because there's nothing in there rubbing against it to clean it better.
See, we will not get trolls. Trolls. Gotta love trolls.
Do we have a troll?
No, but Courtney was saying that she's guessing we won't get any, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be a troll sometime. And
I saw the person that you buy from that auctions for you. I guess she got trolled today. I saw a video on that was what it was saying. I hope they stay away from our channel.
If not, I got thick skin, so it won't bother me. I was a cop back in the day, and I was called all sorts of names, and so it just doesn't bother me. It might bother her.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I delete. Nah, probably not. I delete. We get stuff on our channel, and I just go in there and just delete. And then I get the scam. And I get the scammers and spammers on Facebook in the mornings when I'm doing sell similars on there.
You haven't had any hateful comments on YouTube, though, which is good.
No, I haven't.
Let's see. I can't keep up with the chat here.
Yeah, our pants are still on. They don't come off. It was called nautical something. Maybe it's what they put inside of the chairs or something. I don't know, but
they just stick.
They just stick. Everything sticks. It's so convenient because you don't have, and you can post stuff if you really, really wanted to. I don't think that's gonna stick.
Yeah. Here's if you have something slick like a jacket, if they just kind of
plop. Yeah.
They're not gonna happen. Jeans, you can almost throw the jeans. Probably throw them on there. You know, they just
very. And with our lighting system, that's usually the time that we start catching, you know, frays and stains and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's so many things. We go into somebody's garage and, oh, this looks good. And you bring it home and you put it under the light and you're like, oh my gosh, that has so many spots on it that you just can't see because of the lighting. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's sad sometimes, the stuff you bring home and you're like, oh, that would have been so good.
Y'all, I had my first in a very, very long time. I couldn't find something today. It wrecked my day. I have a little bit of extra stuff for listing. Plus, he's been doing clothes for me that aren't listed yet. But it's wrecked my day because, you know, I'm a perfectionist. I like when my inventory system works for me. But I don't know what happened. I cannot find something, so it's just kind of been rough today. What are you doing?
Alden asked about the angle, and I'm like, I need a protractor.
Oh.
I'm thinking 70 degrees, maybe 60 degrees.
Probably whatever's comfortable
60,
for you.
Degrees.
I saw like Hustle and Hooks has started using something like this, but I think they just used like styrofoam board or something and carpeting. You know, whatever's going to work for you. I think.
There we go.
Yeah.
It has to get pretty well vertical
before the stuff comes
before
off.
They come off.
But it's a lint magnet. You'll be using a whole lot of lint tape to get stuff off, especially if you put something on there that had lint on it. I'm glad people are enjoying my videos and buying Plush. There's so much out there, and I just feel like people don't you've got that person who's going to appreciate it, but as far as the yard sale and all of that, you know, it'll go in the trash if we don't get it. I'm always saying I'm saving them.
Oh, Central Florida with the Disney Plush, we get a lot of Ripley's Believe It or Not, or Wonderworks, Dollywood, Splash Country,
a lot of Pigeon Forge stuff,
Gatlinburg, that sort of thing. We get a lot of that around here. A lot of, you know, depending on your country, we see a ton of University of Tennessee clothing and knickknacks and stuff like that. And I'm sure if you're in Florida, you're going to get Florida State and Florida and, you know, whatever ones you happen to be around, which is good, but I guess you can sell it to the people that are fans across the country.
Yeah, Lizzie, I'm getting through the stuff in your garage. My death piles are ridiculous. But I try every week to go get something out of there. And right now I'm moving a bunch of stuff to my booth. So, you know, I don't know how that's going to go. We're in our second month there. But he may all be coming back here. Who knows?
Yes, Tina, I love North Carolina. Asheville's a fun town. If you're anywhere near there, we're going to be headed down there for to hit the bends one of these days, and then
soon.
And probably when the weather gets a little bit nicer, because driving over the mountain there at Sam's Gap can be a little sketchy if it's damp at all in the winter.
Yeah. It kills my ears.
Yeah.
Love that candy.
You know, carts and carts of books. Yeah. When they bring the books out, scanning. Yeah. I've heard that the money at the bins is to be made on books, not on books that can be scanned, because like I mentioned before, they they scan a lot of them already themselves. So you find the things that you know can be good that aren't scannable because they're too old to have a barcode on them.
I find a lot of homeschool curriculum there, like a Becca. It doesn't have a barcode.
And it sells well.
It does. It sells very well.
It doesn't always sell for a ton of money, but it sells.
And there's lots of it.
And people buy the old versions too.
They don't care.
20 years old, they'll still buy it because, especially someone that's been using that same version for their older kids, and now they have younger kids, they still want the same one because that's what they're familiar with. Oh, it scrolled too far.
Oh no. What do
the
you pre-treat?
Oh, go ahead.
What do I pre-treat? My pre-treater of choice right now is what is that? Shout stick. It's so convenient because when I've got something sitting in the lights and I see a stain, I just go ahead and pre-treat it with the stick and then throw it in the bag that's going to go upstairs. I try to take stuff up as soon as my IKEA bag gets to a certain level, and then it gets washed, and then it sits on my couch for 2 days. But I do have other spray types, but that's kind of my new one right now. I like the stick because I can do it right then and there, and then just throw it in.
Yeah, we went to 2 of the Nashville bins, Chuck, and we liked the one better than the other one. But the clothes there were different. We've always been to the bins where everything comes out in the blue carts that are on wheels. But at least one of those, I can't remember if it was both of them or not, they had the big, I guess, Gaylords or something
boxes
that were deep, and you had to
I am 5 feet tall. There was no way I was going to be able to get down in that stuff. Not that I wanted to, because I don't like clothes.
But it made it tough to get down there.
I don't use a dryer because it can damage the fur. Now, I'm sure I could put it on some special setting, but I've never used the dryer. I don't even dry loveys or baby blankets or anything. I just go ahead and set them out and let them dry.
All over the couch.
All over the couch.
The coffee table, if it doesn't have a puzzle on it.
Sunday night, he was trying to get ready for Monday co-op classes, which were canceled, and he's like, I just want to sit somewhere and relax. I had to take stuff and move it from one place to another so he could sit down in the couch.
Yeah, had to have a soft spot to sit and read science. The jeans are sticking because of, you want to say
it's some kind of nautical cloth. It's like felt, heavy duty felt.
But not felt.
But it's like, it's I don't know. That's what, when I went there, I said nautical cloth, and she pointed at it, and that's what it was. It came it was at Joann's fabric store, and it was on one of those big rolls, and we bought like 9 yards or something, right?
Yeah, we didn't know what we were going to need or how we were going to have it set up. We just bought some. But right for that, we just have a sheet of plywood that's 4 foot wide, and we have one going across the bottom and one going across, just kind of layered on top of it, so it covers the whole thing, and it just sticks. It's like magic. Lots of fuzz and lint, though. We have the lint rollers that we have to run on them all the time to get the fuzzies off.
Yeah, the booth. I need to get over there and take some video. I've just kind of been trying to see if it's even going to work for us. It's in a different location. I don't know. If I decide to stay there, then yeah, I'll do a video over there. But it's tons of plush. It's the stuff that I've decided I'm not going to sell on eBay for whatever reason. I've been taking a lot of that over there, and I'm selling it for, $1 and $2. But I do have other stuff over there, glasses and just books, homeschool stuff.
Yep. And did you answer the part about somebody running it?
Yeah, there's somebody there. It's to benefit hometown heroes. So I think she's focusing in on veterans and fire department and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a charity place. But we had one of the big antique booths close here in November, and I don't think she had planned on renting out booth space, but it just kind of happened, and I think she's got a waiting list at this point. So I'm hoping, that but she's only been open like 4 months. So
Not a lot of traffic yet, I don't think.
not a lot yet.
We did all right for December with it being Christmas, people buying things, but this month's been slow money-wise.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've made booth rent yet, which that will be the deciding factor on how long we stay there.
Yeah. Glad you've learned a lot, Angela. If you have questions, let us know. And like I said earlier, we want to provide information that people can use, so you can make more money.
Yeah, Hannah, I think I had the pup, but I didn't have the key. So yeah, that's a nice find. I'm jealous.
My hubby says I have too much in my death pile. Yes, honeybee, there is too much in the death pile.
I don't think it's as bad as it used to be.
No, it's not as bad as it was.
It's not. In fact, I've got big gaps, which probably need to get some of the stuff that's at my feet probably will end up over there because I'm waiting for stuff to be with it. And I still have like a huge laundry basket of stuff from our online estate sale that I just haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. So technically those should be over in the death pile, but they're still kind of lingering in my listing area until I figure out what I'm going to do with them.
Think of it as an investment pile. That way you've invested in it, it's sitting there, and then when all the yard sales get rained out for the weekend, you've got that pile you can work on.
Yep. And that happens.
It does. And you find good things in there sometimes. You find this thing's worth $30.
I know. Every once in a while, just a little figure that I didn't even know what it was till I Google Lensed it, and it's worth something. Yes, I have a great husband.
Yes, you do. Flatten a paper tag. That one.
What's the best way to flatten a paper tag? Is that like the...
like the plush tags that are curled?
Or maybe? Is that the tag, the paper tag that, like on a new plush, that's somehow being folded and creased?
I don't know.
I don't usually worry about it. If there's something wrong with the paper tag, I just take a picture of it and say there's creases or wear around the edges or tape damage or whatever.
If we didn't answer, if that's not the question you were asking, you meant something different, let us know. We'll get to it here. Let's see. That one. Yes. I'm sure we'll do more.
Yeah. I was so nervous, you guys. I don't think you can imagine what my day's been like. First, because I lost that toy. But yeah. But this has actually been fun. I can't believe it's already been an hour and almost an hour and a half.
Yep. It's past your bedtime now.
It's way past my bedtime now.
Biggest plush sale.
That was this year. The Boyd's Bear calendar was $500 and some dollars.
But that was like 12 things.
Well,
it's
true.
It's 12 in one, but outside of that one thing. What's your one item?
A plush? I probably like the little snoozums did well for me. They're like 150 or so. Probably my next biggest thing though was I found some play school. What was that thing? That play school thing that built a go-kart.
Oh, like big size.
Works. They were like the play school pipe works. I sold that for like $400. And I've sold a couple of dolls in the $200 range. I had an amazing this past year. Maybe you guys gave me good luck or something because I had some of my largest sales ever was just in this last year.
The Island of Misfit Toys. You've talked about that before with that those toys do really well.
Yes, like the polka dot elephant.
That's what she was saying. She sold $300.
Yep, those do really well. I never find a full set. Never.
Money pile's a good word, Alden.
Yep. Profit piles.
Money pile. Money I spent, money I'll make. That's exactly. Let's see, iron some tags. Yeah, an iron, I can see an iron would mess some up.
It might, yeah, it might take the paint or
Coloring off.
the coloring off.
Well, so what Travis had asked about that thing that his wife Courtney had bought about, how to clean it, and you were afraid based on the picture that the wording on the foot would come off if you put it in the washing machine. So some things you really got to be careful with.
Yeah, there's some things. Like I just sold that nosy bear. It could have been cleaner. And so, you just put in your listing, leaving all cleaning or restoration to buyer.
See,
but yeah.
Jen from Canada. I thought all the Canadians would say A after their stuff. Maybe they just don't type it. It's me slinging a stereotype at you, Jen. I remember watching Bob and Doug McKenzie back in the day, Strange Brew. That's where I learned to speak Canadian, I guess, eh? And anyway, that movie cracked me up.
Build-A-Bear Buffalo. There's some Build-A-Bears out there that, yeah. I want to find that bear with the pumpkins on it. It's selling for big bucks. I've watched that on, I think, Courtney's video.
Angela's got a question about what to part out and what to group together.
What? As far as, you know what? Sometimes it's just you got to go look. There's some games that you make more money parting out the parts. There's some, like Courtney from Bolo Buddies has a video on the Octonauts. I've done that too, where you part out all of those pieces, but then again, sometimes I'm lazy and I just leave everything together and you don't make as much money. You just really got to check the comps a lot of times on things. Are you going to do better having it together or selling it? We are finding more than likely almost any small appliance we buy, we're just going to part it out. We're doing so much better, and it's so much easier to ship.
Yeah, because like some of the blenders, it'd be this high with the base and everything, but you can take the base off and the bases are usually the cheapest. They're usually like $10
the
or
motor
something.
Part.
It's usually the cheapest, but you can sell the top thing for $30 or $40 depending on how the brand and how old it is, and then the spinny things and the blades or the plastic paddles inside, the lid, the plungers. I mean, there's just some of that stuff is just so much money. Parting it out.
Yeah, Courtney said she's got a top 10 Build-A-Bear category video out there. Yeah, I mean, I just sold the manta ray for like $90. You gotta check the comps. I buy all Build-A-Bear just to make sure I find that one, because a lot of times you're out there, you're not really checking comps until you get it all home. Well, I'm not. I just know to buy most.
The pumpkin bear, yeah.
Yep.
The little people. Yeah, we have the little people nativity.
Yeah, I just realized I still have my boys upstairs, the complete one, and we would set it out, and they were allowed to play with it just a little bit supervised, because I'm that kind of mom and didn't want them damaging my little people. But now
protect it.
Yeah, it's up there. Little people, I do better in very small lots, like 2 things together, if that much. But on Facebook, I sell a lot of little people for like $5 each. And with 5% fees, that's easy. And
there's a local lady that buys several of them from you at a time. A lady named Sharon that she'll message and say, hey, you've got these 3 things, and then she'll ask for, do you have any elephants or whatever that she's looking for at the moment.
I'm bad. I've told you guys this before. I bag everything. Everything, once it's been cleaned and pictured, it goes in a bag. And I'll just take a picture of bag and all for one listing and say, okay, here's your listing. Oh, yep, the shepherd boy. Yeah, the nativities, there's certain pieces to certain years that ridiculous prices. But I always split up the nativity.
Because somebody's always wanting to replace one piece or something.
One piece gets lost, one piece gets chewed by a pet, and so they're out looking for that. I even sell just even the buildings. They do well too because somebody's probably going to reuse it for something.
Have a good evening, Courtney. Thanks
Hi,
for stopping
Courtney.
in.
Gotta go list, yes.
Got a list.
Got a list.
Can't
I'm
say-
not a night owl though. I do all my listings at 6 in the morning.
Can't sell it if it's not listed. That's what you say all the time.
Yep.
Something you always look for but just can't find.
Jammy pies. I
Jammy
say
pies.
this all the time. I'm like, okay.
We're going to find a jammy pie today.
Play school jammy pies. Look it up. I have found a few, but it has probably been 15 years since I found one. My dream, my ultimate dream is to walk into a yard sale and there's a box and it's filled with jammy pies. I want a jammy pie.
Good luck with that.
I know. More than likely it's going to be Cabbage Patch Dolls or something like, or tons of Boyd's Bears, which I buy them. I buy them, but they're not my favorite unless they're the little ones.
Yeah, Misty, that's good. If people recognize you as the toy lady, then that could bring you lots of business. Like people coming to you to ask you for something that you might not have listed that you know about, or bringing you a lot of stuff that they want to sell and get rid of but don't want to do a yard sale because they don't want to spend the time. Because we don't live in the city, so we had a yard sale one time years ago. We spent $30 on an ad for the paper and sold $90 worth of stuff, and I think 30 of that was one item. It was an old kids drivable car thing. It's just not good for us. I would rather take a lot of stuff to someone like you and sell it for a decent, cheaper price, but I get rid of it, and then the rest of the stuff I'll just go donate, because it would be a waste of my time to sit out here and have a yard sale for a day. It's a total waste of my time.
Yep.
And there's, I read in one of the Sources Apprentice group, there's a guy in there named Matt. He does small engine repair, and he'll wake up, and I think he does it out of his shop at his house or something, and he'll wake up and there'll be a weed eater and a push mower out by his gate, because people know he sells the stuff and they don't want to just get rid of it. They don't want to trash it. So they'll just bring it and drop it off, and then he gets free parts, free used. He'll take them off and either repair a mower or a weed eater or whatever with it, or he'll take it apart, clean it up, and sell it on eBay. And he gets a lot of his stuff that way. So it's good to be known locally like that, because you'll get stuff.
She says she has a booth too.
A lot of free items is good.
Yep.
It's hard to lose profit on a free item.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Ben.
Yep.
Yep.
Happy to spend our time. This has been it's been fun.
This has been fun. And you guys get to see the face behind the voice.
I kind of like just being behind the camera though.
Yeah. Till I look up and he's on Facebook. Then I ain't too happy with him.
Sometimes I'm looking stuff up to see what something's worth. You never know.
I'll never know.
You just always assume it's Facebook.
All right. Do you think we should wind this down?
Yes, because you got to go get to bed before you turn back into a rat or whatever.
Yep. How did you make your clothes board behind you? It is just a piece of plywood and nautical cloth that we picked up at Joann's fabric store. But I would guess any fabric store would have that. Because we're not near lakes. I mean, we're near a lake, but no big nautical area. So,
yep, we're gonna do a video on that so we can kind of show it from the side, kind of the angle it's at. Like I said, I'm thinking like 70 degrees, 60, 70 degrees. It's pretty straight, because if you lean it too much, then you have to lean way out to put the hanger on it, or to take pictures of the tags and stuff at the top.
All right. Here's my